Five Poppies had seen many nights filled with music, cocktails, and whispered secrets. But nothing quite like this. As the shadows of dusk fell across Port Charles, the upscale lounge glittered with its signature blend of jazz, nostalgia, and hidden tension. What was meant to be a quiet evening of reflection for Jocelyn Jacks quickly became something far more explosive. Because tonight, at Five Poppies, the past would rise from the ashes, and Joss would be left reeling by the return of someone presumed gone forever, Dr. Britt Westbourne. And Britt wasn't just back to say hello. She had two shocking requests, and they involved Joss, a secret alliance, and a ticking time bomb that could dismantle everything Sonny Corinthos had built. It started with a note. Handwritten. No signature. Five Poppies. 7 p.m. Come alone. This is about your mother and your future. Jocelyn had considered tossing it, but the handwriting was familiar. Hauntingly so. It brought her back to a Christmas at General Hospital when Britt had gifted the pediatric ward with toys and shared a final smile before allegedly dying in Liesl Albrecht's arms after a poisoning attempt gone wrong. But Joss remembered something else. Britt had whispered something in that moment. Something Joss could never forget. You'll change this town more than your mother ever did. At the time, it had felt like a compliment. But now, it sounded like a warning. Jocelyn stepped into Five Poppies wearing her mother's old black leather jacket. It wasn't about fashion, it was armor. Ever since the Jason Morgan secret unraveled and Carly's engagement to Drew collapsed in public disgrace, Joss had learned not to expect comfort in familiar places. The lounge was half-lit, its usual piano player absent. Just a recorded melody echoing off velvet walls. And then she saw her.
Britt.
Hair shorter, streaked with silver. Eyes sharper. Dressed in all black, as if she were still mourning the life she'd left behind, or preparing for war. You came, Britt said. Her voice was unchanged. Sardonic.
Confident. Scarred.
Joss blinked, stunned. You're dead. Not quite, but thanks for the eulogy. Britt's survival wasn't an accident. After being injected by a mystery toxin during her last stand with Cody and Liesl, she'd been rushed away by a covert faction within the WSB, one that didn't trust Albrecht or her alliances. They offered her a deal. Disappear completely and work in underground research.
Or die.
Britt chose life.
Barely.
Now, she was back, and not for redemption. I didn't come here for nostalgia, Britt said, sipping a martini. I came because your name came across my desk in Vienna 2 months ago. You were flagged as a rising risk to certain operations. Joss flinched. Risk? I'm not in the mob.
No.
But you're about to be. Britt leaned forward. I want you to take over my research clinic in Berlin. Covertly. Joss blinked. Excuse me? I've been building something. A rogue wing of regenerative medicine for people too powerful to have public medical records. But I can't run it anymore. You want me to run a secret clinic for criminals? No, Britt said. I want you to transform it, legitimize it, and protect what's inside. What's inside? Britt narrowed her eyes. Proof that Jason Morgan was never just a hitman, and data that could destroy Sonny Corinthos' network if it fell into the wrong hands. Joss felt her throat close. Jason. He worked with us. He helped build part of the program. His DNA's on every wall. If Sonny ever finds it, or Brennan's people, it's over. Joss's voice shook. And the second request? Britt's eyes flicked to her drink. You have to kill me. Joss froze. I faked my death once. But if anyone finds out I'm alive, that clinic gets exposed. WSB turns on me. Liesl tries to save me. Sonny will use me. I can't. You have to. Symbolically.
Publicly.
Leak a story. Burn my name. Make me a traitor. I need to vanish for good. You want me to destroy your legacy? I want you to bury it, so you can rebuild it. Before Joss could respond, the door to Five Poppies opened again. A gust of wind, a jingle of the bell, and 2 figures stepped inside. Cody Bell and Nina Reeves. Joss's stomach dropped. What the hell are they doing here? Britt's face paled. That wasn't part of the plan. Cody stormed over. You lied to me, Britt. Again. I had to. You let me mourn you. You let Liesel mourn you. Nina stepped between them. She called me last week. Said it was urgent. That Jocelyn was in danger. Joss blinked. Why would you? Because, Nina said slowly, you're not the only one Jason protected. Britt finally laid it bare. Her clinic in Berlin wasn't just for black market healing. It was a WSB side project to develop restorative cognitive syncing, a method of transferring consciousness via neural encoding. Jason had tested it. He didn't die in Greenland. Not exactly. He was brain dead, Britt said, her voice breaking. But his neural patterns were preserved. Coded. There's a 30% chance he could be revived with the right body. Joss dropped into a chair. Cody stammered. You're telling me Jason might be alive? In a form. Not now. Not yet. But if the tech falls into Brennan's hands, he'll use it on his soldiers. To make copies. Mind-controlled assassins. Jason was the template. Joss looked at Britt. And you want me to protect that? You're the only one left who can. Nina, for once, wasn't the villain. She warned Joss that Sonny was already suspicious of Berlin's secrets. That Drew had tried to find out more before he was shot. That Carly was the next target. You help Britt, Nina said softly. You become a target. I already am. But Joss's mind raced. She remembered the old lab notebook Jason had kept locked away in Carly's safe. The one no one could decode. Maybe that wasn't a journal. Maybe it was a cipher. A map to the Berlin clinic. They agreed to stage a final betrayal. Britt would publicly be revealed. Through a leaked WSB report Joss would accidentally deliver to the press as the rogue scientist behind a failed Jason revival experiment. Her name would be shattered. Then she would vanish for real. After this, Britt said, you'll never see me again. They clinked glasses. Cody looked away. Nina cried. Joss held her composure. I'm sorry, Joss whispered. You deserved better. No, Britt said. I just wanted to choose my ending. 3 days later, Port Charles was rocked by the leak. The headline read, Dr. Britt Westbourne's shocking posthumous betrayal, rogue lab linked to Jason Morgan experimentation. Social media exploded. Liesel Albrecht fainted on live TV. Carly stormed into the Metro court demanding answers. Sonny made a call to Berlin. But it was too late. The lab had vanished. Burned.
Cleaned.
All that remained was a young woman, Jocelyn Jacks, now the guardian of its secrets. Joss returned home that night and opened the old notebook.
Lines. Codes.
Scribbles. And then a phrase. Berlin. 4th key. Only Joss will know what it means. Tears streamed down her face. Jason had known. He'd always known. Not Carly. Not Sam. Not Drew. With Britt gone, Joss took her place in the shadows. Not as a scientist. Not as a mobster. As a bridge. Between legacy and evolution. Between the dead and the almost alive. She made 2 vows. Jason's sacrifice would never be used as a weapon. Britt Westbourne would be remembered, not as a traitor, but as the woman who gave Joss her future. And somewhere in a hidden bunker beneath Europe, a new chamber flickered to life. Labeled,